Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Raja from IITM. So finally I'm boarding to the Japan for my Sakura Science Program. So in this video you will get to see a lot of glimpse, and I will make sure to provide you each and every moment of my trip in this video. So see you then in the video. As you can see here, our plane is eagerly waiting for us, and no doubt we are also equally excited to meet our plane. So just after the announcement, filled with a lot of joy, excitement as well as lot of pride, we all started boarding our Anna flight. So now let me tell you the reason behind my Japan trip, which is Sakura Science Program. It is kind of 1 week exchange program in which students of different universities are invited to experience Japan's tradition, culture and technological advancements. And here is my IIT Madras team. And to be honest, I feel very much proud and lucky to be a part of this amazing experience. Now it was time to say goodbye. So after saying goodbye to India, we were on our way to Japan. So actually we were first going to Tokyo Haneda Airport, and from there we were going to Osaka Kansai Airport, and from Osaka we have to go to Kyoto by bus because our main event was in Kyoto. First of all, I took a very peaceful nap in this long journey, and then for some time I watched Kung Fu Panda, and then for some time I played video game with this interface, and then it was time to take some food. So they served a very delicious veg meal and it was quite good. So after watching a beautiful sunrise and the famous enormous Mount Fuji volcano very closely right in our front of our eyes, after this our experience so far became even more thrilling and adventurous, and we all really enjoyed this moment. So finally we landed first at Tokyo airport and then we moved on to the Osaka airport, but the transit time between Tokyo and Osaka was quite less, which caused a lot of problem and panic, but somehow we reached, and we then move on to the bus to move into Kyoto from Osaka. And we were very tired, but somehow we gathered our strength, and the experience in between was quite amazing, because if you don't know, Kyoto airport is built over the sea, and it was quite amazing to experience that moment, and I really loved that instant. So it was really amazing to move over the sea to experience that moment. So finally we reached our final destination, Kyoto city, and it was 8th September, and it was actually our first day in Japan, and at that day our orientation was scheduled. Although we were quite tired because of journey, but we attended the orientation successfully, and after completing the orientation we explored the beautiful city of Kyoto a little bit at that day. So on 9th September 2024, our first official day of Sakura Science Exchange Program actually commenced in Japan, and after having a good breakfast, Japanese breakfast, we all actually get ready for our first visit to Kyoto University. We first visited to its Yoshida campus and then later to its Katsura campus. There we get orientation about its different academic programs, different research facility, admission facilities, different scholarship, and the experience was quite enriching. We got a lot of information about our career, and we also got some lunch there. We got some interaction with different faculty, and it was really amazing experience. So we got some group photo as well, and they have provided some currency as well to us. So you can see some note Japanese yen, and these are some of the Japanese coins. And it is worth to mention that weather, especially in Kyoto, was equally hot as compared to Chennai. So we did not experience any weather change over there. So our visit at Kyoto University finally came to an end, and to be honest, we all actually enjoyed it very much. It was quite useful, and after completing this visit at later in night, we all actually explored some of the streets of the Japan, and I ended up buying these items initially. And one notable thing is that people generally avoid using holes unnecessarily here, so there is very less noise pollution as compared to India. Also, there is an interesting thing is that in night there is a water spray over the streets in order to lower the temperature. So after our academic visit to Kyoto University, we get ready for our next visit to Kitano Tenmangu Shrine. So in Japan, there are two types of religious center, shrine as well as temples. Shrines are basically to serve Shinto religions, and temples are to serve Buddhist religion. And the shrine which we visited was one of the oldest shrine, and its founder was Sugawara. And they told us that this shrine is particularly famous for academic purposes because many students generally come here to pray for their passing scores on examinations. And before coming to the shrine, there was an custom here that we need to wash our hand. So earlier they used to wash their hand through rivers or ocean, but nowadays there is a particular place for washing hand. So after washing our hand, we pray together, and there is a custom to go twice, clap twice, once whenever we pray. So after our praying, we visited different sections of Kitano Tenmangu Shrine, and believe me, it was quite an amazing experience which I never want to forget. And it was quite amazing to see different religious, different cultural practice of Japan here. So as you can see here, people used to write their prayers and hang it out there like that. And after that we visited some shops and bought some souvenirs. After that we visited a museum which is located inside the shrine only, and it was quite amazing to see different historical things of Japan over there, and it was an incredible experience. After that we participated in a beautiful historical tea ceremony of Japan, and this time also it was quite amazing to be a part of this ceremony. Apart from tea, they also gave us some souvenirs which we cannot forget, and after that we clicked some photos with them to be a part of our memory, and in this way we ended our trip. So after this, later in the night, we visited another shrine which is Fushimi Inari, and it was based on a top of a mountain, so it was a kind of a mountain trek for us. And in night, the joy, thrill and experience had doubled for us, and we all really enjoyed that moment. And it was quite an amazing experience to watch the whole Kyoto city over the top of a mountain. And this kind of experience is unforgettable for me, and I can never forget this amazing experience. So on the very next beautiful morning of September 11th, we went to the Horiba Limited, which is actually a manufacturing company of measurement technologies. So it was a quite insightful visit. We saw various technologies there, and apart from that, the top of Horriba Limited was quite amazing. The view which we are getting from there was quite amazing. We are feeling like we are quite like in the clouds. After that, we did some shopping. We bought some sweets and candies, and I bought this specifically ice candy and some variants of Kit Kat. So after this, we all visited to a famous tourist point of Kyoto city, which is none other than Kyoto Tower. So it is a kind of topmost point of Kyoto, from which you can observe the whole Kyoto city very beautifully. And there was a particular telescope placed there, and the view which we are getting from there was literally amazing. I cannot forget that experience. And in night the experience was even more amazing, and we really enjoyed the moment. After that, we clicked our photo for the memory, and this is how our day ended. So on the very next beautiful morning of September 12th, we first ate our breakfast and then we dressed very properly because we have to visit the famous Osaka University of Japan. We visited the Suita campus of Osaka University. We attended different informative sessions over there. We got to know about their different academic programs, and believe me, it was really very insightful and informative for all of us. After that, we tried the very famous ramen of Japan. We tried the vegan version at Kyoto Engine, and believe me, it was very delicious. I will also recommend you to try it once whenever you are visiting Japan. So on the very next day of September 13th, we visited another historical place of Japan, which is Kinkaku-ji temple. So unlike previous shrines, it is a temple which is based on the religious beliefs of God Buddha, and it is also called a temple of golden pavilion. So you can say that it is kind of golden temple of our Amritsar, and it was really a very good experience visiting this temple, especially in the morning. And the vibe which we are getting from this temple was really amazing. Along with us, a lot of Japanese people, including students, were also visiting this temple, and these are some of the God Buddha relics. People used to throw coins over there, and like all temples and shrines of Japan, this temple is also built over a mountain, and it was really a fun experience to climb a mountain and experience this temple. And this is our guide, and she was really very helpful. And this is the golden temple or pavilion, and we clicked various photos over there for our memory. And she is another guide of our trip, and she was also very friendly. And these are some of the temple historical things. And finally we got some souvenirs from temple. So later we went one of the historical museums of Japan, which is Shimazu Foundation Memorial Museum. It is based on the memory of Genjo Shimazu Senior, and it is kind of scientific, educational and historical museums of Japan, which focus on different physics and chemistry based instruments. So there we found a lot of interesting scientific instrument which is based on the very deep history of Japan, and there we gained a lot of new knowledge, and our experience was really so satisfying. And one thing is worth to mention, that Japan always interlinked their culture and tradition even with science. So it was really nice to see this scientific experiments. Apart from that, there were a lot of different experimental labs available there, and these are some of the instruments. You can see this one is the edition phonograph, and there were a lot of different instruments available there, and these are some of the experimental lab.
Right. You can see the color.
Apart from that, we got a chance to be a part of this Japanese tradition, and there we ended our trip. So now it was the time for our closing ceremony and end of our 70s amazing trip to Japan. So we all collected our certificates, and to be honest, it was a very proud moment for all of us to be a part of this Japan and India collaboration. Finally, a very special thanks to JST, IITM, as well as to all my Sakura friends for making this experience possible for me.